Hey, welcome to Vampire Church, everybody. My name is Jared Logan. You are watching the Stream of Blood, and you are watching our Sunday morning Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition show entitled Vampires of Pittsburgh, subtitle Rain in Blood. This is our third chronicle. If you're just joining us, there are two other chronicles that you can check out. The original Vampires of Pittsburgh and Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown. But hopefully you don't need too much grounding in the storyline to understand what's going on. Basically, these three vampires have toppled the Camarilla and really the anarchs in the city of Pittsburgh, and now they are trying to run the city themselves. That's sort of kind of a bare outline of our story. And this is the Stream of Blood, where we play tabletop role-playing games of all kinds. We usually play them Tuesday night, and right now Saturday and Sunday morning. We are a service that survives on your Twitch subscriptions. So I would ask if you're out there, if you've been enjoying the show or any of our shows, you haven't got a subscription yet, click that subscribe button. Or if you see someone else lurking in the chat who you've seen at a couple of these shows and they don't have a subscription yet, buy one for them. Your subscriptions are how we are able to make more and more cool content. And we have so many cool things coming up. For example, coming this Tuesday and just a couple days from now, I will be game mastering a new edition of the Neptune Society, our Call of Cthulhu 7th edition game, the Neptune Society, that takes place in the Victorian era. And we let our subscribers, people who have hit that subscribe button, decide what the Cthulhuid entity would be in the story. And they have chosen the King in Yellow. So this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, check out our Call of Cthulhu show, where our subscribers have chosen the villain or the monster that will be featured in that episode. And we have a great cast for that, including our good pal Humphrey Carr, who will be returning with a new character since poor Dr. John McCorkadall passed away, as characters often do in our Cthulhu show. All right, let's play some Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I will just say before we get started that if you're not familiar with our show, Vampire the Masquerade, you can see that's a pretty adult image on the cover. This is an adult game, and it has some adult themes. There's violence. There's also, people murdering each other and draining the life out of each other, and even using strange powers on each other that control minds and things like that. If that's something that makes you uncomfortable, maybe give this show a pass. But the most important thing I want to tell you is that we are always listening to your comments, criticisms, concerns, and questions. And the quickest way to get in touch with us is at our email address, streamofbloodroleplaying@gmail.com, or on our Discord, the Server of Blood, where we have all kinds of conversations. So let us know what you think of the content. We are always listening, and we take your comments seriously. Let's play the game. I'm going to bring out your cast. This man just finished an epic two-parter Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game just this previous Tuesday in his own world, I believe, that he's created, called Sanguine Seas is just one part of it. And he is also just a fantastic actor and role player and an erudite scholar of the weird. Please welcome, as Curtis Krieger, the veteran gangrel vampire. Please welcome Ross Bryant.
Oh, hey Jared. Hey, Jared. Good to see you.
Yeah,
you just caught me. Thanks for bigging up the Dungeons and Dragons sesh we did. It's loosely based in the world of the early modern period, so I'm just boning up on my Christopher Marlowe here.
Yeah, Marlowe. So he wrote some Dr. Faust, right?
Yeah, wrote Dr. Faustus, but also maybe apropos to things we're doing, wrote two plays about Tamburlaine, the Steppe Conqueror, and it's just like, I mean, if you ever wanted to read something that's just like full balls to the wall, crazy, violent, arrogant bombast, Tamburlaine is like 4 on the floor crazy. It's, I don't know why the theme of like someone who takes over only to have it all maybe tenuously slip through their fingers might be something compelling to our story thus far. But
yeah, it might be compelling for our story. Nothing is set. It might not slip through your fingers, but
who knows?
Certainly we have to make the danger that it could be there. What I will ask you is, you're an actor, and before you kind of were creating your own stuff with like the improvised Shakespeare company and all these different kind of improv things you did, have you ever been in kind of a play that we might not expect? Because I was like in plays in college, and I always like to tell people, and they laugh.
Oh, were you uproariously miscast in something in college?
Well, I don't know. Yes, I think sometimes, but
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't even that great a story, but the first Shakespeare play I was ever in, they had me do an Italian accent and old age, and I didn't know how to speak Shakespeare. So, and I was in The Taming of the Shrew, and I was like, I wonder why Gremio comes not all this while, and I sounded like Dracula. And my parents were like, that was good. We couldn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah. To me, there's almost nothing funnier than teenagers in theater old age makeup because it always looks horrible. You just look like a nightmare. It's like black metal corpse paint on the face of like a child. And yes, I did play John Proctor in Arthur Miller's The Crucible, a character of like stoic, earthy gravitas, which my 15-year-old 90-pound frame was not up to.
The Crucible, that's some heady stuff for a 15-year-old.
Yeah. To say that we really grappled with its themes is to oversell our interpretation.
Let's bring in. I want to find out what our friends, what their play memories are. Let's bring in another fantastic actress. They just had the finale of or the season finale of her show Mythic Quest on Apple TV Plus, and she plays Jen Brown, who was a Thin Blood. Now she's a Nosferatu. She's got her own tech company that's headed by a tech mage. Yes. She's moving up in the world, or at least sideways in a dark and creepy way. And this lady is just fantastic. Let's welcome Ashley Burch, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. I would have happily watched that rendition of The Crucible.
Oh boy. Yeah.
At some point, someone should just make like a very fully realized movie of something like The Crucible, but with all like kid actors who've never acted before.
As violent, as period
accurate.
Yeah,
exactly. That would be awesome. What about you? Have you ever been in any kind of strange plays in like college or when you were a kid? Or
in middle school, I played. I think there's a grandma character in Bye Bye Birdie that for some reason I played. I had braces. I very much did not look like a grandma.
Grandma getting braces is, grandma, you do you, but let it ride at that point. That's great.
It was fun though.
Yeah, so many theater memories of like, I would like go to audition for the musicals, and I would go like, and the guy would go, "That's good, thank you." But wait, I prepared all these bars. No, half a bar is good. This next player is he plays Lucius Ali, a vampire with a vision, a medical doctor, a revolutionary, a diablerist. The actor you could see on HBO Max is Raised by Wolves. You can hear his voice in some video games, and he's just incredible. Please welcome Salim, everybody.
Yeah.
What up?
Hi.
Yo.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
What about you, man? Were you ever in any embarrassing plays or had any embarrassing roles?
I don't even know where to start. Like, I think plays are such a culture within like British theatre. It's something that I think if I had to pull one, it'd probably be there was a time where I had to play like a grandmother, and it was so weird. I think it was at school. And like, I had the whole thing. I was like, you shouldn't say that, child. And then like, it was so weird. And at the same time, like, it was like creepy because everyone was looking at me like, oh God, this guy. And I got into like, into the whole theater scene because like, all the girls were in the theater scene.
Sure.
But like, all into acting. But and but then me playing a creepy grandmother didn't really help anything.
It doesn't really improve your game.
You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean, the same here. Like, in college, I was like, well, I mean, I just, I thought maybe if I, get in some of these plays, I'll meet some of these girls and just kind of people in general and make some friends.
Yeah.
And then I would get like the part of like the servant who just whispers in someone's ear the whole time and doesn't have a line. I'd be like, what do you think, ladies?
Honestly, it's also like generally, I remember. I distinctly remember like going into class and be like, "Yeah, drama's a great idea because like all these girls. Maybe I can have a girlfriend." And then little kid me, who's like again like God knows how big, and then playing creepy grandma and then talking to the girls and they're like, "You're so funny," and I'm like,
yeah. It's never like you're like I'm gonna get into theater, be like. Deliver the smoldering intensity of Hamlet, I mean? Stanley Kowalski, creepy grandma.
Not to mention how confused we are to think that Hamlet speeches will make someone want to date us.
Before you realize that Hamlet is the Joker, he is
total psychopath. Yeah,
total psycho.
Speaking of total psychos, these characters they waver between psychos and good people sometimes. Let's find out what side of the fence they land on tonight. The city is yours. The Camarilla has been ousted. The Inquisition has been toppled. You have finally taken your place as the queens and kings, princes and princesses of Pittsburgh. Let's play Reign in Blood. And by way of a very brief recap, I'll just say that in our last session, we sort of built the chronicle together a little bit. And we found out that Jen's touchstone, Sabrina, is now a tech mage. She has somehow learned how to implement magic from the tech mage that was met in the end of our last chronicle, Tadine, who is now sort of missing, and we haven't quite figured out where he has gone. But I will just remind the players that some things may be different from our last chronicle, and just kind of go along with that, and we'll kind of figure out what happened as we play. Sabrina and Jen found Fauna, their former ally, and discovered that Mary, the elder vampire that they, used to be allied with, has disappeared from where she lay in torpor at Woodville Plantation. Meanwhile, Curtis Krieger realized that something had to be done about the Reclaimers, the group of witches that headquarter near Gravity Point, who last chronicle made a promise to help them defeat the Camarilla if they were given a regular supply of blood. And Curtis and his coterie handed over the Archon Isabel to the Reclaimers, but then later Lucius and his sister Clara went and dusted said Archon, basically reneging on the deal and taking back the payment that the Reclaimers were due. So now the Reclaimers have talked to Curtis Krieger. They've cursed Clara with some sort of sickness. She's coughing and has a fever. Seems to have some sort of super flu. And they've given him 6 hours until dawn to find them a new payment, or Clara's curse is going to get worse. Finally, we know that Lucius went to meet with representatives of what's left of the Camarilla. Apparently, the vampire Bob from Cleveland is running the Camarilla and doing a terrible job, meaning the Camarilla is really on kind of a skeleton crew and sort of floundering in Pittsburgh. But Lucius and his coterie mates correctly sort of surmise that there must be smarter vampires backing him or behind him. And Lucius set up a meeting with Bex, the former sheriff under once Churchill Jackson had kind of been dusted or destroyed. So he met with Bex, and when Bex wasn't willing to get in line and sort of follow Lucius's sort of party line, Lucius called in his friend, the missing elder vampire, Mary. And so now we will find out what happens. Let's see, where were we meeting? I can't remember where exactly.
It was Washington's Landing.
Oh, yes, the ruins of Washington's Landing. Yes.
But the thing is, I was going to say, like, as soon as sort of I saw guns drawn and claws out.
Yeah.
I think Lucius would kind of shout like, wait, to try and halt what's about to explode.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's do this in like a one roll sort of conflict, because Mary is a one roll kind of character. So
Right.
she'll roll. Bex
Okay.
and her companion will roll, and you also will roll.
Okay.
And if you want to use a compel to get them all to drop their weapons for a second, then I will allow you to use those rules, which would mean
what's the
Yes,
compel
go ahead.
and can I blood surge?
Yes, you may, of course, blood surge. You may rouse to add to.
I got hungry.
Charisma plus dominate, which you have a dominate of 4. So you're rolling 4 dice for that. And if you rouse, you can add to your charisma.
So
and I think I was telling you 4 dice. I was wrong. I looked it up again. Lucius,
It's 3, yeah?
It's only 3. Even if you're a blood potency 3, it's only 3. Okay, so here comes. So let me just set the scene. You're in the ruins of Washington's Landing. Basically, Lucius was talking to Bex and saying, like, you need to join us. You need to, like, give up this Camarilla cause. Bex was like, if that's your line of reasoning, I don't know how much longer we need to listen to this. That's when Lucius said, Mary. Mary came out of the shadows, well, really out of the ground, and was like, have they refused to follow the path? Yes. And Lucius said, indeed. And Mary's claws lengthened, and she came forward, sweeping her claws at Bex and her companion, a vampire you haven't identified yet, maybe someone new, a woman with like kind of red hair and a tight bun who's dressed for combat. And as Mary swings her claws forward, let's see how she does. Okay. That's going to be a crit for Mary.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
And let's see how Bex and by the way, they're both aiming at Mary, of course. Bex and her companion.
Crit? Holy shit.
Well, Bex just rolled 5 successes, so that ain't bad, even against the crit. And Krista rolls less, considerably less. Okay, so and let's see how your roll went, Lucius.
I got 9.
9. Okay, so a crit really just means we count double successes. So those counted as 4 successes for her, and then she got an additional 4 successes on her roll, Mary. So she got 8 successes altogether. I'm going to rule that your 9 successes, that does trump everybody. So what do you say with your compel in this moment?
So I say, I'm like, basically like, wait, hold.
Okay, everybody, like, literally, like, Mary, like, stops, like, with her claws this close to Bex's face, and Bex, the trigger's half back, and they all stop because your, supernatural command, like, really paralyzes them for a moment, but you only have a moment, so...
And then I'm literally I'm gonna kind of go into the middle between, I'm gonna basically push Bex aside and, like, look at Mary, and then sort of be like, so much blood has already been spilt here. Our blood. Cain's blood. And then I'm going to turn to Bex and look and say, I don't wish to spill any more. I simply wish for a truce, a share of knowledge, an understanding of who we are, an acceptance of who we are. This idea of having this fool running the Camarilla, it's embarrassing. No. You need to accept who you are. I see it in you, Bex. I feel it in you, Bex. Take over.
Bex looks you in the eye and says, I can't make a lot out of this Cain mumbo jumbo.
What do you mean, Cain? Mumbo jumbo.
The blood of Cain. And then, accept who I am. I've accepted who I am. I accepted who I am 30 years.
But you haven't truly understood.
You went through the change.
But you
so
haven't
explain
truly.
It to me. You've got my attention. Explain it to me. You've got an elder working for you. Explain to me what I need to understand.
Well, let me then first begin by saying that this elder isn't working for me. We're simply working alongside each other. You see, in this society,
Mary is going to just say something very briefly. I apologize. She's like, the Camarilla never understands. They do not understand that they must allow their beast to roam free. That it is an angel inside of them, spreading its wings.
Mary, I missed you,
Mary. I understand and I hear you. However, we need to find a common ground here. People won't just simply accept this straight away. We all need to learn, a sharing of knowledge. So, Bex, thank you for asking the question. And then I'm basically going to try and explain where I'm coming from as a fellow person from Church of Cain. But basically,
yes.
what the aim of Lucius is trying to do is he is trying to not necessarily it's a mixture of domination, manipulation, but through my, with my eyes, having their gaze, it's the aim of trying to convince them of the Church of Cain and try to get them to understand what's going on.
All right, I love this. So this will be a big roll. Let's put this roll together. I want you to. You say you're using your dominated to some extent too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And my rationalized, to a degree, because I want them to feel like it's coming from them, but it's not necessarily coming from me. You see?
Okay, great. So let's put together a dice pool. You can use your if you're really talking about the Church of Cain, you can use your occult. You can use your charisma, and then I will allow you to go ahead and add your dominate to this. I think that this is like a big moment here. You're sure you want to add dominate?
Yes. And
okay.
Can I, and with the fact that I have literally just blood surged, can I add those as well?
Yeah, because that stays to the end of the scene.
Okay. So. Oh boy. I got a crit.
Holy shit. Okay. So.
How do you always roll so well?
I've got this massive fucking pool, man. Go on.
It's a new edition of the game, Jared. Blood Surge applies only to a single roll of the dice.
Fuck.
So they've changed that? You'd have to rouse again. Do you want to rouse again?
Yes, I do.
So have you gotten hungrier?
I did get hungrier from the last one. I didn't get hungrier from this one just now.
Okay. So thank you, Clint. No, you don't need to roll again. I mean, as long as you blood surged and you took the consequences of that, we can accept the last roll. So with your crit, here's what I'm going to say. So what exactly is your goal in how you're talking to them? Like, what is you want to have them become your full adherents, or do you want them to kind of just agree to not work against you anymore, or what is exactly your goal?
The aim of Lucius now is the idea of aligning everyone under the same banner, no matter what kind of sect or affiliation that you have, be it Camarilla, be it whatever, be it what the point is to align under Cain. Mm-hmm. And I think that for me, it's like, look, we can work alongside each other, because ultimately I want to break the masquerade. I think this idea of hiding is, I believe that we are angels trapped in the bodies of these things. And we need to actually fully embrace and accept that. So for me, it's like, this is me trying to empower, but through empowerment, I want to also control.
So here's what happens. Bex and her companions seem completely kind of mesmerized by your speech. And you're kind of talking about how much blood has been spilled, the blood of Cain, and look at like the ruins around you. And finally, when you finish, Bex kind of like looks at you intently and then looks over at Mary. And she seems to also have, there's something like she wants to like Mary as well, or she wants to have, there's some kind of connection there for a moment when they lock eyes. And finally, Bex says, what you say is interesting. I'd like to hear more. Perhaps there are some ways that we could work together instead of continuing to nip at each other's heels.
Right. And I'm glad.
I'll see what I can do about Bob.
Bex, please. Remember, we are here to help.
Yeah. I will, I'll see what I can do. And
I'm gonna look at the younger one and be like, I'm sorry, I never got your name.
I'm Krista.
Krista. Lovely to meet you. My name is Lucius. This is Mary. Welcome. And congratulations of being witness to some form of a truce and agreement between two constantly fighting parties.
We care about keeping the city safe. If you believe in that, like you say you do, your words were very beautiful.
Thank you, Krista. And believe me, I do.
They are going to head off into the night, but they're going to keep communication open with you.
Cool.
And so now I'm going to give you a dot of contacts the Camarilla. So basically, if you need to get in touch with them, work with them, right now they're like open to it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, will they always be the Camarilla? Well, you have to keep working on them. But for now, you've made an inroad. Make sure to put that down on your sheet, and let's go to Curtis Krieger, who is driving furiously down a country road with Clara in the passenger seat, coughing. She doesn't look good. She like there's like a cold sweat has broken out on her brow. The reclaimers have said by dawn they need to have their payment, or whatever they have done to Clara will be possibly fatal. And so, can we see the reclaimers really quickly? Because Will Pottorff did a fantastic little image of them. Yeah. Clint's gonna bring it up. Here they are.
A bunch of regular Maravese towns.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
So there they are, and so let's ask Curtis Krieger, what do you want to do? And Clara's
buddy.
right there. She's still able to talk. She's still conscious. So if you want to consult her, because she's let's not forget that one of the upgrades that Lucius made to the Chronicle is
She's
that
a
Clara
vampire
is now a vampire hunter, a chosen one with like a cult knowledge. So
yeah, I think I'll use the resource that's right next to me for now and just be like, all right, okay, 6 hours isn't a lot of time, but we need to give them somebody, and I have an idea who. Somebody who's I think needed a little retribution for a long time. Clara, you and I are going on a Bob hunt. So where the fuck do you think he is?
Okay, Clara is gonna like think about where Bob might be, and
as she thinks, I think I might, in the interest of pulling other eyes on the prize, I'm like, Siri, and that's maybe when Jen gets a call.
Great, Jen, you are out at Woodville Plantation, but you you get the call, and Sabrina's monitoring it as well, so you don't have to like fill her in later. And go ahead, guys. Yeah, you're connected.
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
In point of honesty, no, not really. Situation developed. Huh? I got Clara with me.
Is she okay?
No, she's not okay. Look, long story. I'm trying to get those ladies from Gravity Hill off our back. They need to be dealt with, so I'm dealing with them. We need to get them some kindred blood, and we need it tonight.
Tonight?
Look, yes. Do you or Sabrina have eyes on Bob? Can you use your, I don't know, can you hack the fucking planet or whatever to tell me where he is?
Yeah, Brina?
Yeah, so she's like, I mean, it's a little harder. Like, I don't have my whole rig here. I can try.
I can help. Just tell me what to do.
And she just starts like tapping into her phone, and you guys can kind of both like sort of do this kind of weird GPS search, but on Brina's end, she can kind of like then start pinpointing like a really specific data that sometimes will like bring up like someone who's not giving off any kind of heat signature or who's missing like a social security card. You know, it's like this sort of soup of data. But
can I also
use your help? You can assist.
Yeah, can I pull up the video that he put online and try to scan it for any details or if there's something I can like find the IP address, but if there's anything, since he wasn't being subtle, that I can go, oh, that's the fucking building on 3rd Street or whatever. Like if there's something that I can do from looking at his video.
Yes, absolutely. And here's one other thing that is going to help. Clara says Bob's an idiot. He's not creative at all. He's definitely gone back to one of the old havens that the Camarilla or like you guys have used.
Do I recognize it?
That really helps you narrow it down a lot. Right. It would be the hospital, or it would be, it would be the even the tanning place, like places you've used. So that helps you. And so now we're going to do just a big giganto roll.
Okay.
First I want your roll, Jen Brown, and then I'm going to have Brina do her magic.
I'm guessing it's intelligence plus tech.
You got it.
Sweet. 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. And so then I'm going to add some successes to Brina's roll here, or add some dice based on like knowing to narrow it down that Clara gave you.
Come on, Brina.
Oh boy, Brina. Oh no. She did good. She got a 2 10s. She got a crit. Okay, so he's in the U.S. Steel. He's at the top of the U.S. Steel building.
Of course he fucking is.
He's at the top of the U.S. Steel building where the old prince used to have a giant office and all the Camarilla used to hang out. He thinks he's the prince of Pittsburgh, so of course he's at the top of U.S. Steel.
Okay, I'm going to tell Curtis that, and we'll meet you there.
Wait, her crit also tells you that he's got only 2 kindred with him right now. So you guys thought that there might be as many as 11, loyalists still in the city. But right now, Bob, there's 3 kindred in the U.S. Steel building.
Okay. We'll meet you there.
Okay.
Great.
Oh, boy. All right.
Clara looks at you and goes, my brother. He can help.
All right. This might be kind of an all-hands-on-deck kind of thing. No good deed goes unpunished, I guess. Siri?
Yeah, and every time you say Siri, Ruby in the back goes, woo, woo, woo. You call Lucius, and you guys are connected if you want to tell him the situation.
Curtis.
Hey, Doctor. Okay, so complicated situation just developed. You remember those ladies down at Gravity Hill that we worked with a year ago?
Yes, I know. You were supposed to deal with them. How did it go?
3 out of 10.
Lush, meet us at US
Who's-
Steel.
Hold on. What? Wait.
Meet
why
us
is-
at
why is-
US Steel, Lush.
There's been a complication. Meet us at US Steel. Click.
I'm going to look then to Mary and kind of be like, there's been an altercation that I need to deal with tonight. I'll meet with you later.
I will be waiting.
I know.
There's much more to discuss. If we are going to awaken the souls of all of these kindred, these prodigal kindred, we cannot do 2 at a time.
No. And believe me,
There needs to be a massive awakening.
And there will be.
You promised me a revolution.
And I will give it to you, Mary. I will give it to you.
She runs her claws down your face.
Oh boy.
And it's like, my child. When I look at you, it is like looking into a mirror. We see through old eyes. We remember the fall, don't we?
We do.
She then falls back like she's doing a trust fall, but as she hits the earth, she just merges with it.
God, she's so scary.
And I'm sort of going to, like, Lucius is going to kind of stand there and be like, okay. Oh, there's a lot of work to do in this relationship. And then kind of...
Okay, so Fauna is still with you, Jen Brown. And she is asking why you are rushing to U.S. Steel building.
We have to help a friend, and as Galconda tells us, that is of an utmost priority, right? So we're just going to make a quick detour. And
how are you helping this friend?
I don't quite know yet. I just know that I have to help him.
Jen Brown, according to your Galconda path, you can always ask the storyteller if an action you are about to do will endanger, once per scene, you can ask me whether an action you're about to do will endanger your progress on the path of Galconda, and I just throw that out there, that Thana might have reminded you. If you are kidnapping Bob to give him to the Reclaimers...
Then yes.
And you know what happened to the Archon with the Reclaimers. They basically keep a kindred as sort of a blood source. Yes, it will damage your path of Galconda. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. It's probably going to cause stains on your humanity.
Okay.
And maybe in our last Chronicle it wouldn't, but 2 of my players said, we want to be on the path of Galconda. And so... this is how tough it is to walk that path.
Kur's going to backslide real quick. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna think about
Fauna
that.
says to you, she goes, the path doesn't justify our actions. It guides them. Galconda isn't an excuse. It's a trial.
Maybe there's a way to... Maybe there's a way to prevent the worst from happening to Bob. But we need to do something. Because if we don't, they're going to kill Lucius. And I don't know what's going on with Clara. I have to help them, okay? So just... I'll protect him.
Tread carefully. It's easy to step off the path, Jen Brown. And around this time, you all are pulling up to your agreed upon rendezvous point, which we can reasonably assume isn't just like right where anybody in US Steel could see you and you know, mark you. So, yes, sir.
I've messaged Bex to be like, even after she just left, just to kind of get a gauge of the idea of what she feels about Bob and how, like, you know, where her mentality is on him.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, So I think this happened in your conversation you had earlier, your big
Yeah.
truce meeting. I think that she told you basically that she is content to let him be the figurehead that will draw the lightning while she just
Okay.
sort of keeps shit together. Because she doesn't think that she's a leader type, is what she told you. Like,
Okay,
she doesn't
and-
like all the bullshit that comes with it.
But I probably would have. If she then said that, I probably would have been like, I wasn't the leader type. I was simply the doctor who helped, and now I'm finding my voice, and I want you, as as one of us, as a true being of this kind of nature, to truly understand, to truly give in. It's scary, and to accept that fear, to be like, you know what, this is how we all evolve, because that's kind of the path that I'm on.
I love it, and I think that was part of your beautiful speech that also incorporated your dominate and all of that. So I think that she listened to that. That is why you've earned that point of contact. By the way, you are now headed toward what is ostensibly, if that's where Bob is, that's ostensibly where Bex is havening to. She might not have gone back there yet, but you're about to drop in on her right after you've made this truce with her and attack this guy that she set up as sort of the figurehead, the monarch without any power, like that's sort of who Bob is now. Anyway, you guys are like a couple blocks away in a parking garage, and
Could
you
I
can
ask a
decide
question?
what you'd like to do. Yes, please.
So many moons ago, we had the urn,
Mm-hmm.
and we had done some digging about its origin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if there are any threads that we've since dropped about the possibility of that not being the only one in existence or being able to replicate that somehow. Because I think what Jen is basically grasping for is, well, if we had the fucking urn, we could just give it to the reclaimers and then the debt would be paid 1,000-fold.
Holy shit.
Some way of saying, like, look, we could give you this one vampire, or if you help us find this thing, you'll never run out of blood.
What's the urn?
The urn. So the thing that Mary and Erasmus's anarch movement originally used to draw a lot of vampires from all over the countryside to their cause was that they had found, stolen from the Prince of Pittsburgh, a sort of arcane artifact, an urn that dated way back. I mean, when you talked to the museum curator, she said that there was it was from the Middle East, and that there was some word that it had been used at the wedding at Cana where the water turned into wine. But basically the power of the urn was any kind of blood that was put in it suddenly became kindred vitae. That's something that,
Seems like the kind of thing that Lucius would love to give away.
I mean, you literally just told me something. Yeah, I mean, did you tell me this?
No, I think it's reasonable that they've never told Lucius this.
Or
if you'd rather narrate that you have, that's fine. Your characters can talk to each other about whatever you want.
Look, a lot happened before you showed up, okay?
Yeah.
Choices were made.
Yeah, but someone shattered it on the ground, and that was the last in a failed negotiation with the Camarilla. Someone shattered it on the ground, and so that is the last that was seen of the urn. This is a fantastic idea, Jen Brown. Whether it is possible to, just talk about it. I mean, let's see what you can get done in. I'm going to call it 5 hours now.
So basically, we have not the Cathedral of Learning, but where do I find Gargi? What is it called?
Gargi was at Old Economy Village.
Old Economy Village. So would it be safe to say that since we were there for a while, that I would have looked through the books? I'm just trying to say, in the time since the urn shattered, if I have amassed any knowledge.
Well, you had diffractionate at one point with your Thin Blood alchemy, so you definitely learned a lot about kind of catenating stronger blood or more sustenance-inducing blood. So yes, you have looked into these things. Would you like some kind of intelligence roll to see? But what exactly are you trying to figure out? How to create a new urn?
I think the options would be how to create a new urn. Failing that, as a stopgap, can I sort of indenture myself to them since I have some ability with blood to base as like a holdover. Can I instead of giving them Bob to kill, can I help be their alchemist?
Well, let's that's an extremely interesting proposal. Why don't we set the scene in this parking garage and have everybody talk about it? But Jen Brown, when you're ready to see whether you can do that, like whether you have the knowledge to kind of offer that, which we can go ahead and roll it right now. I'd love for you to roll an intelligence plus occult.
Okay. I don't know if Jen would tell them because I'm pretty sure Curtis would just say fuck no. Intelligence.
Yeah, I think you're seeing Curtis like pop out of the Jeep Cherokee, and it's like, and like blocking, loading, like taking probably stakes that Clara the vampire hunter has on hand, and like and slipping them into belt loops.
Yeah,
I'm really good.
I'm like walking with my hands in my
pockets. I got 5 successes.
Whoa! Holy shit! I was about to go, and probably you should surge, and probably you should. And I was gonna say, you have to get 4. And look at this. So yeah, you remember everything. You remember everything that was used to catenate and alchemically like produce like diffractionated blood that it was like of a stronger and you even think like having researched the urn with 5 successes, you even think having researched the urn, if you can talk to people that know magic, you might be able to create a new one. So let's set the scene. Curtis is like gearing up. Clara's getting out of the side of his truck, trying to like put her swords on, but she's like coughing.
It's not going to happen. Okay, you just got to rest. And when you shut down the security system, I just need to get in quietly.
Curtis, wait.
There's no fucking time, Jen.
Wait a second. Just calm down. I have an idea. I need you to take me to Gravity Hill. And I need to go now.
Wait, what?
Just trust me. If we go up there and we take Bob, Bex is probably there. Who knows how many vampires are there? We're starting all this bullshit over again. I have an idea that might spare spilling any blood. Just trust me. Please, we don't have a lot of time. Take me to Gravity Hill.
I mean, these ladies drive a very hard bargain, okay? They already did something to her.
And I'm like, my eyes are just sort of on Clara, and I'm just sort of registering that.
Oh, that's when Clara collapses onto the ground in this parking garage. And Lucius, no roll necessary, that something's been done to her. Like it's, this isn't like a normal sickness, obviously.
I know I can do this. Lucius,
Jen, you have 10 seconds to explain to me what you're going to do.
A long time ago, there was an urn that changed any blood that we put into it into Vitae. I think I know how I can make it again, and I need their help. And if we can make that urn again, they'll never need another vampire. We won't have to trade our own to settle scores. They can be an extremely powerful.
You do realize you will give them ultimate power, infinite amounts of power. What can they do to us?
If I can make it once, I can make it again. We won't be under their heels anymore. We won't be under anyone's heels anymore, Lucius, please. If we go up there and we take Bob to them, we're just walking the same path as the Camarilla over and over again. I don't want to do that anymore, and I want to save your sister. So please, take me to Gravity Hill now.
Fine. You go ahead. I will come up with a backup plan just in case. I will talk to the Camarilla. Just so you know, the conversation that I had with Bex went very well. So I will simply just talk to them peacefully. Try and think of something as a backup plan anyway.
Can you stabilize your sister?
Am I looking at her? Is there anything that I can do as a fucking doctor?
I think that that's reasonable. So, why don't you go ahead and give me a medicine roll? You can roll intelligence plus medicine.
Okay.
We can also assume that Dr. Ali, keeps a couple things on his person for this because it's come up before. And difficulty 4, and if you get
Okay.
4 successes, she's conscious again.
No, I failed. I got 3.
Any willpower?
Great.
Oh, good question. Okay, 4.
Okay, very good. So what you have done is but this is going to take some time, Lucius. Is that okay?
So if it's going to take time, and this is also part of the new sort of wave mentality that I'm in the humanity. I'm going to look at her and sort of be like, she'll be fine. If she's truly strong,
Oh
she'll get
no!
through this.
Oh no!
And then I'm going to
That
look.
is a for humanity thing to say.
Yeah. And then I'm sort of going to be like, go ahead.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes. And I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm going to be like, you guys go ahead.
And can I want to, there's a decision that I think a part of Curtis would make right now, but I want to roll it.
Okay.
I think he's at a crossroads and it's like a humanity thing and it's a pass. He'll do something altruistic, fail. He'll suggest something violent.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Roll your humanity of 4, and I think that since you've said he's kind of split, he needs 2 successes.
Okay. Failure.
That means that he wants to do something violent.
Okay, great. It's like, then you have to convince them, Jen. If he's going to stay here and work with her, then I will come up with a contingency. Because we can't have them hanging over us, and I'm not going to let them do anything to you.
Well,
Let's
actually,
go.
sounded like Lucius is not going to stay and work with her. He sounds like he's going to leave her to kind of deal with the sickness on her own. So,
Yeah.
if that
All
is
right.
correct, Lucius, give yourself that willpower back because I hadn't told you it was going to take time, and now you're going. I don't have the time. So
Yeah.
you are kind of leaving Clara, as I understand it, maybe like in the bed of this truck as you guys go off to do something awful. And that means Jen Brown, Fauna, and Sabrina can all go to Gravity Hill, and
I'm going to take her with us. I'm not leaving her.
Clara. Yeah,
I'm gonna look at Lucius and Curtis with extreme disappointment, and I'm going to put Clara's arm around my shoulder and guide her gently into the car.
She's completely unconscious. So, Sabrina.
Okay, I think Sabrina could probably help me.
Yeah, they have to help you. But Thana helps as well. And Thana looks at you and goes, "This will work, Jen Brown. This will work. And even if it doesn't, you are following the path."
I'm gonna look at Curtis and kind of have a moment with him. If you trust me at all, you're not going to do anything until I give the word.
All right. I trust you. And if you need anything from me to sell this deal, just say the word.
I won't.
All right.
And I'm going to try to floor it to Gravity Hill.
Let's floor it to Gravity Hill. I'm going to say, all in another hour goes by for you, Jen Brown, putting you at 4 hours till dawn. But I'm going to right now stick with our 2 commandos, Lucius and Curtis, who, when they team up, only good things happen. What is your plan for the U.S. Steel Building?
So I'm gonna kind of look at Curtis and be like, this city, so many different groups, so many different factions. These people, these mages, witches, they will kill us, Curtis. I am simply suggesting that we do give Bob over. But I think that there's a need of a war, a fight, in order to eradicate this place of these cretins, weaklings. What's stopping them from doing what they've done to my sister, to any of your loved ones, to us? We need to put an end to this. Now, I've spoken to Bex, and I didn't tell you the amount of detail that we got into, but I think there may be a way of temporarily banding together a truce between kindred in this land to find some form of understanding. Now, I simply just want peace. I want understanding. I want truth. I want honesty. But these witches, they are going to be in the way of it. Imagine what kind of reputation we will have if we give our own to them. Curtis, I'm simply asking that we walk into this building. Let me talk to Bex. Let us take Bob and a few other Camarilla. Pose as a scapegoat. Say, like, look, here is our sacrifice. And then simply tear them asunder.
And I'm sorry, this is Ross now. Just to be clear, are you saying that you want to attack bring them and attack the witches?
Absolutely.
You're trying to tear them apart?
I'm trying to simply get rid of a problem that will grow to be even more of a problem when we give them copious amounts of vitae. You've seen that the only way that they can actually do some damage to us is with vampire blood. Imagine if they had an ultimate source of this.
These are actually great points. I mean, scary great points. But what I would love is for the conversation to continue while you tell me what your plan is to, access U.S. Steel and Bob. So is this going to be a social kind of approach where you get in touch with Bex? Okay.
So this is the thing. So I think the way that I'd approach this is I would talk to Bex and I'd be like, look, it's very kind of short, like last minute notice, but we have a problem. There are these group of witches that are wanting vampire vitae and wanting to extract as much as they can from us. And I feel from my experience that they will literally take over if they do have this kind of copious amount of fucking vitae. My answer to this, in a way of finding a collective understanding of, like, truly having kin on top, is to get rid of them. And so for me, it's like, I think that we need to plan an attack. The Camarilla and the Anarchs and Mary and everyone go and literally tear them apart.
Light up the witches. Okay, so you set up sort of another, just a couple hours later, you set up a kind of another meet with Bex, and you're asking her to bring Bob with her. Is that right?
Indeed. Bob and a few other Camarilla as well.
Let's see how this goes. So I would love for you to give me a politics roll, Lucius.
Okay.
And you can add one die for your contact. You did reasonably impress Bex earlier, and that's why you got that contact dot. So give me something like a manipulation plus politics plus one die for your and this is all being done, via phone or whatever. You're setting up this meet. And you're actually going to get them to come out of U.S. Steel building and hopefully come over to this parking garage where you guys are hanging out, if that works for you.
Yes.
And so I think that this is kind of a big ask. So I need 4 successes on this.
Well, I got 5.
Okay, there it is.
Right.
And so now we can go ahead and jump to the meet. And soon Bex appears. She does have Bob with her. And in addition, there is a man that possibly Curtis recognizes. The Tremere Dr. Orman is there.
Familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, there he is, Dr. Ernst Orman, the Tremere kindred, and Bob is not in chains. And he's actually kind of giving orders a little bit. Like he's like, okay, come, like make sure that there's a perimeter because you have to protect the prince in these kind of meets.
Oh Jesus!
I think as soon as he sees him, Curtis is just like, it's like the thing of like an animal watching you behind bars, just kind of. Just staring him down.
I'm gonna then explain the situation.
Great. And are you explaining what you explained to me that like you, well, tell me, like, did you already in like setting it up, tell Bex like you want her to give up Bob, or are you going to try to explain it now?
I've already said like, look, Bob shouldn't be lead. You should be lead.
Yeah.
And I've already set that up. What I'm saying now is I'm saying, look, we're in a situation and they are asking for kindred blood now. And I look at Bex and I'm like, there is the obvious option of giving someone, which is absolutely horrendous and disgusting to what we truly believe we are supposed to look out for each other. However, what we can do with this issue is pose a sense of like, look, we are giving this person up. Look how special they are. And at the same time, we will then ambush them and completely rid of the issue and the problem that is arisen right now.
This all makes sense. This all makes great sense. I think that you already made your roll and got 5 successes to sort of explain it. So I'm not going to give you double jeopardy on that. You don't have to roll that again. I think it's very clear. But
I'm going to look at Curtis though, and I'm going to be like, do you understand what I'm asking here? Do you truly?
No, go ahead.
Because do you see the issue in which we're trying to deal with these witches? They're a problem. The way they tortured my sire. I wanted to end my sire, and the way I saw her, I felt pain. They torture us, Curtis. They use us. I cannot allow this within the city.
And now once again, Curtis is pulled in 2 directions. It's like, Jen is offering them, I don't know, a non-violent means of closure. We could potentially have these people as allies.
But Curtis, think about it's like giving them a nuclear missile, for fuck's sake.
We'll have the same thing. What is it? It's mutually assured destruction, right?
The point is, Curtis, is that when we end them, when we get rid of them, then we can take control. Then we can make sure that the person who is in power of these mages understand what the hierarchy is. These people, they don't care about us, Curtis. Look at what they did to my sister.
The Camarilla are here. Dr. Orman, Krista, Bex, and Bob. Let's see, how many do they bring? Any ghouls with them? They have a lot less than they used to. They bring 1 ghoul with them. It looks like somebody who's not who has the blush of life on anyway. A heavy set guy in like a jacket and like a ratty leather jacket.
And you know what? Because they're there, I'm going to look and I'm going to be like, you know what? Here it is. What I'd love to hear is the opinion of someone who understands the kindred society, the magic, the occult, the blood sorcery, Dr. Orman. And what I'd love to also hear is the tactician, the mind, the brains behind this thing. Bex, please tell me, what are your opinions?
The Magi have really never given us any sort of difficulty before. Basically, Tremere magic is a match for their witchcraft on any given day. We've never ever faced a threat from them before, and I don't imagine that any demands that they make will be incumbent upon us to deliver to them. What makes you so worried about them, Doctor?
And then I'm going to tell them about the urn.
Oh, you tell him about the urn? Oh, that was something that he really liked and
Son
wanted.
of a bitch.
She says, wait, your companion says that she's figured out how to recreate it?
Indeed.
Impossible. Unbelievably impossible. No. That is an ancient pedigree of sorcery that she does not have access to. Bex says, everybody shut up. What kind of threat do these people pose? You say that they're going to come after our blood, but it sounds like they just want one kindred.
And tell me, Bex, did we just want one kind of blood? When we were awoken, tell me, did we just want one? No. Think of it. Blood is their source of power. It begins with 1, then it goes to 2, then it goes to 4, then it goes to a fucking clan.
Bob goes, if you ask me, and everybody's like, shut the fuck up.
And I'm maybe just like, I can think of one. I can think of one they maybe would want.
Bex looks at Orman and goes, I can think of something we could give them as well. And Orman's like, certainly. But I would like to go into a parlay with these will crafters. It feels like they are dabbling in kindred sciences that they are in over their head about, especially if Jennifer Brown feels that she has it. And
Doctor,
like, okay.
As much as I would like to listen to you, I think this has become a much more personal matter. So I do feel like we should listen to Curtis and Bex and tell me, which ones do you think that we should give?
Krista and Bex draw their guns and put them up against Bob's head. Dr. Orman sort of stands back and Bob's like, what's happening? Oh, yeah, a clever ruse. I mean, oh no, don't shoot me. And he's very confused by what's going on. And they look at Curtis like,
I'm just like,
and I'm also going to look at Curtis as well.
It's like, hey, you know what? If I didn't know who I was talking to, I would say it's like you could read my mind. And
okay. And let me take a die away because it's Bob. No, he didn't beat them. So they both just blast his brains out with like short range weapons, which doesn't kill him, of course. It just puts him into instant torpor. So he hits the ground with his brains splattered all over the floor of the parking garage. And it is in that moment that I would like for you to roll your humanity, Curtis Krieger.
Okay.
Actually, let me do it this way. Let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, I want you to roll your humanity.
Do I add hunger to that?
No hunger.
Great. Do I have a set difficulty or?
I just want to see how much difficulty you get.
1 success.
1 success. Okay, so you are unmoved. You are unmoved by this, and you now have a body to offer up to the Reclaimers, a kindred body, and you know that he is not dead. He is just kind of in stasis. And Bob's like laying there, like,
yeah. Curtis doesn't even blink and is just watches the body fall, and the only thought that flashes through his head is like, oh man, I really would have liked to have pulled that trigger. And then
now Bex and Orman are fighting. So Orman says he should be he should go with he suddenly likes Lucius's plan a lot. He feels that he should be allowed to join you guys and go to Gravity Hill and take out these wicked magi if they pose some sort of a threat. And Bex is like, no, we're done. Take the body. That's it.
Yeah, let's listen to reason. This is our negotiation to do.
I'm going to kind of pull the doctor aside and be like, and I think I'm going to be like, I'm going to look at Bex and be like, I'll handle him. Make sure that they get the body quick. Jen is at the moment going to convince them of this idea of bringing this urn back together. Just give them the body. Make them happy. I'll deal with the doctor.
Very well.
Okay.
I'm dragging him into the back of the Jeep Cherokee and throwing a blanket over him, and I'm gonna bounce unless.
Great. I'm gonna call that. Let's see. Jen has 4 hours left when she took off. You guys have 3, so we'll bring Jen back. We'll bring Jen up to 3. What has she gotten to do in this hour?
Great. I think maybe just before I leave, it's like I'm looking at Bex. Like we've shot at each other like half a dozen times at this point, and it's like, but it's that thing of like. Respect.
What I would love from you is a drive roll to see how quickly you get there.
The old drive roll.
The old drive roll.
Dexterity plus drive.
Dexterity plus drive. The more successes you get, the quicker you get there.
You know what? This might be time for a surge.
It might be time for a surge. But meanwhile, Jen Brown, you and your companions, Thana, Clara, and Sabrina arrive in Gravity Hill.
Nothing's going to go wrong. Curtis said he'd wait.
Yep.
Okay. I think I would know by this point how to summon these ladies. So I'm going to step up. And I think on the way there, I would have asked Sabrina and gotten her consent to take a little bit of her blood, because that's how I do the diffractionate thing, right? Yes. And Sabrina, you know, my blood, her blood, like a little bit of a cocktail. I just remember doing stuff like that, like mixing different properties to make Vitae.
Well, here's the thing. It's like you remember how to do it, but you're not sure if you can still do it, because Thin Blood had this sort of like quality of being sort of like stem cells where it can be a bunch of different stuff, but you definitely know like the whole formula and everything. So let's but you're going to go ahead and make the cocktail, like diffractionate some blood right now and use that to summon them, or are you using?
No, I wanted to basically what I want to do is summon them, tell them what I can offer, show them that I can do it, and then see what comes from that. Great.
So you know how to summon them is by dropping some blood in the park, right?
Yep.
So do you drop the blood or does someone else?
I drop the blood.
Very good. Lights go on in the houses around, and this time the ladies are sort of complaining as they come out, like, "Oh, we gotta get up again." Like you know, the husband doesn't know how to handle the baby. I got to get back. But they kind of trundle out, and soon the reclaimers, there they are, and one of them is like,
Cody.
Sorry. You are not Curtis Krieger.
Hello, ladies.
Please don't tell us you've come to negotiate. It's been a long night.
I'm afraid I've come to negotiate.
You brought us... Oh, and now they get a good look at you in the light, and they're like, oh, God. Immortality hasn't been kind to you, has it, sweetie?
Not really. Bit of a rough year. Look.
So are we taking you or the other one? And they point at Thana.
Neither. I think this arrangement, if you can even call it that, has been, let's face it, annoying for everyone involved. You've had to get out of bed twice now in one night. You've had theft, missing payments. I want to offer an alternative. And then I'm going to start diffractionating in front of them.
Great. Go ahead and give me, let's see, what is your, what kind of skills could you bring to bear there? You no longer have Thin Blood Alchemy because when you became a Nosferatu, it went away. But let's see, you can roll your intelligence, obviously. plus your phlebotomy, your medicine of phlebotomy. And let me see. You said Sabrina's going to help you, right?
Yeah.
Because Jen is a tech CEO, I'm just imagining her at this moment going fully into like TED Talk mode, like little line, like, blood is one of our most underused natural resources. And it kind of got me thinking, how could we disrupt the blood? Yeah.
Okay. So Sabrina's going to help you a little bit. And what I want is for, you just start doing that. That's a good idea. And Sabrina's going to roll some stuff. Oh no, Sabrina. Okay. Yes, medicine plus intelligence, please. And they're going to see if they can tell what you're doing.
Just going to try to make it sexier. I got 4 successes.
4 successes is really good. So Sabrina actually doesn't quite help you, but they are all like, they're like, she is awakened. And they're all like looking at Sabrina, who kind of gave you a little bit of blood. And they're like, you did not tell us that you worked with awakened sisters.
I thought that was, her information to disclose if she wished.
Sabrina says, I'm really more of a coder. Yes, it's all code, isn't it, sister? And they move forward and they're kind of like looking her over. And it's like, and they're like listening to Sabrina now. And they're like, what is your proposal? And she's like, we want to show you how to sort of create this this urn, right, Jen? It's like an artifact that makes blood more.
It turns it into Vitae, which you all need.
How many successes did you get, Curtis Krieger?
My dice pool was 7 after my surge. I rolled willpower, and I still got 2.
Oh, you are uninterrupted right now, Jen Brown. Please go ahead.
Oh, I'm sure they'll love this body after they get this pitch. Oh boy.
I'm going to hand over the blood for them to sort of examine. I think with Truce, a alliance between us, we would be able to replicate something close to what the urn provided. You wouldn't have to go scrounging for kindred, making deals with people that don't follow through. You would just have a source of power through relationship with us and an assurance that you stop going after my compatriots.
One of the acolytes, because there's like 9 women, but only 3 do all the talking. One of the acolytes steps forward and goes, please step away from the trivia. Your presence corrupts the earth power here. And you can tell that every time you get close and start talking to them, Jen Brown, they all kind of are like they kind of
I'm going to put the blood on the table where they had the hoagies. I'm just going to step back and say, just look at it.
They look at it. They are kind of not convinced. So I think that we need a big roll to describe the entire process here, because I think that, Sabrina's role to kind of magic it for you failed. So right now they're looking at like a kind of they understand your proposal, but they're not quite sure if it'll work or if they have the magic to pull it off. I need one big last roll from you to convince them. That's not double jeopardy, right? You haven't rolled that yet, have you?
I rolled, I don't know.
I don't think that you did. Did. So can I have one big social roll? I understand your tactic. It's really reasonable. It's like, I totally get you're using logic and honesty with them here. And you're proposing this sort of technology, maybe, that can really kind of help them. That's very much in the Jen Brown wheelhouse. So I think that you should use your you could use charisma or manipulation plus finance to kind of give them this business proposal.
This is going to be great.
But I think that you need 3 successes because there's 3 leaders here to convince.
Charisma plus finance.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to surge or anything before you do this? It's a big roll.
Yeah. We're looking for adventurers, dreamers, iconoclasts, rule breakers.
How many successes did you say I needed?
3.
I got 3.
Now they believe that this might be possible, and they're like chattering excitedly, and they're talking to Sabrina, and they're like, "Give us your wrist, dear. Give us your wrist, sister. Let us try this again. We need a vessel. We need a vessel." And then finally, someone pulls out this like big giant coffee mug that says Pittsburgh Steelers on the side, but it's like one of those giant size ones, and they slam it down on like the picnic table. And now they're going to try their own working. And let me add their paradox dice.
Oh. It's nuts.
Sabrina is helping too. Sabrina is helping too.
I love it.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Okay, Sabrina is also helping. And they're all trying to turn this Pittsburgh Steelers mug into the new urn.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. I know how many successes they got, and I know whether their magic backfired in some way. But the thing that the upshot of all of it is that now there is a ritual taking place where they're all working together and they're all like kind of holding hands and kind of like singing these songs in Old English or something as they take Sabrina's hand and like pour her blood into this like this mug. And you can see that you can feel something happening because suddenly the smell of blood fills the air. Jen Brown, go ahead.
I think I just sort of be like, do we need to use Sabrina? But can I see how she's doing? Is she okay?
Sabrina has agreed. I
Okay,
should have been clear. Sabrina has agreed to do this because they've asked her, and she's like, it looks like I'm like a key part of this diplomatic negotiation here as another one of the awakened. And so the issue, though, is that it is that a ritual is taking place that is going to take 2 hours, and that's how Curtis arrives while the ritual is happening.
Interesting.
Do I hear the car come up?
I think you certainly can because you're not involved in the ritual.
I think I recognize it, so I'm gonna
Absolutely
rush over and be like, Curtis, what are you doing here?
What the hell are they singing up there?
They're working on it. I told you not to come until I called you. What are you doing?
Things. Look, I feel like under the circumstances, it's good to have a plan B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's Bob's body, and it is.
Did Bex go with them as well?
Bex did not go. No, Bex said, I'm giving you the body, and the camera is done here.
I didn't want them.
So, yeah.
What did you do?
Like I said, there's a contingency.
I'm going to cut my wrist open and start feeding Bob.
Holy shit. So the second you do that, like it takes a moment, he's just like a dead body, and then all of a sudden he's like and you can see that his head is even like knitting together in that moment.
What the fuck?
What did I tell you?
Jen.
What did I tell you?
Jen, please roll a rouse, and I can tell you that Thana runs over and is like, this is a little distracting, and you can see that like the women are singing, but some of them are like looking over to you, and they look a little bit nervous.
I'm going to take the keys from Curtis, throw them to Bob, and say, "Get out of here."
He's okay. He's
like,
got your vitae. He's got your vitae coming down his lips. His head is half like the hole is almost closed.
I'm gonna try to like wake him up.
Ow!
I'm sorry. I put my pistol right to his head and was like, "You're not fucking driving anywhere."
Wait, what's happening? Where am I? I don't
Give
know
me the
what's
keys,
going on.
Bob.
Okay.
The gun down.
Is this ritual done with? Is what they're doing done? Did it work?
It's working if you would stop interfering. Can I pull a bit of Galconda on him? Because he's trying to follow it, isn't he?
Mhm.
He is trying to follow it. Yes, he absolutely is. And let's see. You can just add your Galconda dice pool to like some kind of social dice pool if you'd like
Okay.
the 3 dice you have for it. Or you could use one of these kind of Galconda powers in some ways. For example, the 3rd level Galconda lore sheet power allows you to resist frenzy easily if you every time you put one in the bank by giving into a frenzy on purpose. And then also, let's see here. I just want to tell you all your options here. And you also get 3 extra dice in any social test involving the nature of Galconda. That's
I
probably.
think I'm going to do that. So I think
Yeah.
I'm going to do, if it's okay with you, Galconda, Persuasion, and Intelligence.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I'm
Great.
basically going to say, like, Curtis, you don't want to walk down this path anymore. I know you don't. There's a way out of this. I get what Lucius is saying, but they need us to be able to do this. Can you imagine if we had their help instead of looking over our shoulder all the time?
Everyone, what he's saying isn't wrong. If they're
What
able to
I'm
use
saying
this
isn't
power
wrong.
against us,
Either.
eventually, at what
Bob
point?
suddenly sticks his head in and goes, "The power is mine as prince of this."
Shut up, Bob.
Okay,
I
yeah,
just-
sure.
I'm like, I'm no. I'm looking at Jen like, are you please? Just let him.
Curtis, you have no idea how hard it is to me to defend this piece of shit, and that's how hard I believe this. I don't want to keep spending every day choosing who lives and who dies. There's another path. It's harder, but it
that's
can
a-
work.
Can I
gonna
roll to
roll
see if
that
I'm
roll.
convinced?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll.
Um,
I'm gonna roll mine. Let's see. It's
You
a
roll
big
yours,
dice
and Curtis Krieger.
I think
you're
because
gonna
I
be
followed
rolling to
Galconda-
resist. If you
I think
want.
because I'm on the path of Galconda,
Come
I'd be disadvantaged in that resistance. Right?
Yes.
Is that-
on.
by 3 dice.
Okay. So my resistance roll, I'll be like I guess composure plus
That sounds right. Resolve.
okay. 5. So
Let's
5
take
minus
away-
3 is 2.
Yeah, 2.
Great. 1 success.
I got 2 out of a dice pool of 10. I got
Oh
2.
my god! Well, thank God you won. So
Hang
I
by
would,
a
like
thread.
I would like to narrate this as Curtis is like, yeah, okay for now.
Mhm,
Like,
yeah.
and by the way, Bob is now running down the road that leads to Gravity Point.
Not before, yeah. It's like I let the hammer like drop down, and then it's like the full like crazy eyes, right? And it's like Daniel Kaluuya in Widows, just like, didn't you hear, Bob? Get the fuck out of here! Don't let me see you first again, buddy.
Bob's gone.
Oh, God,
He's
what
gone.
a fucking picture. Jesus.
This is that's Curtis now. Bob's gone. He's moving really quickly down the road, and now you guys can go and watch the climax of the ritual.
Before we do
Luke-
that, can I look at
yeah.
Curtis and say, what else happened? I know something else happened. Lucius isn't with you. What's going on?
Looks like the Kimmery is basically like 2 or 3 people in Pittsburgh right now. But our buddy the doctor is making some pals. It seems for the moment that things are pretty stable.
So he's just talking to them right now?
Seem to have a little rapport with Bex. Your buddy Orman's still in the mix.
Do they know about this?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
There's suddenly this incredible scent of like vitae that kind of like poof, like mushroom clouds out over the entire little park, and suddenly birds go crazy, dogs in yards. By the way, the sky is getting a slightly pink tinge to it as one of the reclaimers holds up the Steelers mug that is brimming with blood, and she goes, "We've done it. It creates earth power from base materials.
I'm gonna run over to make sure Sabrina's okay.
Sabrina is fine. She's just kind of like sitting there, like kind of, ow. Oh. It's like, and they are actually talking to her, and they're saying, "Sister, you have consecrated this holy artifact. You are one of us now. You are of our coven." And she's like, "Okay, great. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah."
Are we good?
The old one comes like waddling up to you in her hoodie and like shorts, and she's like, "We are good. You have fulfilled your debt to us. The one called Dr. Ali and his sister will not come into our territory and will never again move against us, yes?"
As long as you never again move against us.
If yens are good, we're good.
Can I look over at Clara and make sure she's okay?
Actually, she's not yet. She's like still like kind of like and sweating.
You need to fix what you did to her.
Yes, child. Patience. Magic takes time. Hey, she kind of slaps Clara's face. And then she takes out a pill, one of those like pill caddies with all the different pills in them.
Days of the week.
Guys.
And then she starts kind of praying over them, and she's like, "And Menel and Hecate and the thrice goddess." And then she takes out a pill and stuffs it into Clara's mouth and is like, "When the sun comes up, she will be well."
Do we have time to make it back to our haven, or do we need to sleep on some floors right now?
You could chance it with a drive roll, or you could, I don't want you guys to be on the run anymore. I feel like you've earned your way out of that. So because you have, you know what? You did so well here. The witches offer you some hospitality.
Okay,
if
great.
you've got this awakened sister with you, they can't deny her hospitality.
Okay, great.
And Sabrina will stand guard over us so they don't try to get any ideas.
We're going to find out what Lucius and Dr. Orman talked about in just a second, Abu, so stick with me. But for now, I want to leave Jen and Curtis as they are on bunk beds in a kid's room with like sleeping bags that have like SpongeBob on them. The motherly one is sort of hanging something over the window and saying little prayers over it to kind of bind it so it won't fall down. These little knots she's tying.
Okay. We're vibing.
Yeah. And she's like, "Can I get y'all anything else?"
No, I think we're good.
You've been real. You've been real nice. You've been nice. He's like trying to come up with something baroque and witchy in his head, like your hospitality has, but he can't pull it out.
You're nice.
She stands in the doorway like a mom looking at her kids who are tucked into their bunk beds, and she goes, "We have a dog. Please don't feed in my house." And shuts the door on you.
Is Sabrina in here with us?
No, Sabrina is having coffee with them and talking about magic.
Oh, great.
But of course, you guys can't, because as the sun comes up, your bodies once again die. They die and die again. But let's cut back to hours ago and find out what Dr. Ali talked to Dr. Orman about.
And I think what I've done is like, so I've because the books, the blood sorcery was his books, right? His writings.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kind of pull that up and be like, I know that we've had our differences. However, doctor to doctor, scientist to scientist, your writings are incredible, truly astounding. I learned a lot more from your writings than I did in my years of study as a fucking doctor.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course you did. I mean, I'm dealing with deeper sciences than the ones that the kine are aware of.
I know, and it's beautiful and it's incredible, and I just want to sort of express my gratitude to your findings. However, Doctor, how much do you know about our kin? How much do you know about our history, about our being?
Well, induction into the Tremere is not simple. We are the clan that favors knowledge the most, and so how much do I know? Well, let's just say more than any prince that has ever held the throne in Pittsburgh.
And let me know. Then that's brilliant to know, because you see, I am hungry for knowledge. I simply wish to understand more about our kin, about who we are, about our society. And there is something so delicious about knowledge.
Let me stop you, Dr. Ellie. I will not reveal any more secrets of blood sorcery to you. You are not an authorized practitioner as assigned by Clan Tremere, an order and hierarchical title.
Understandable.
And it is actually a great crime that you even read my notes. I am being very patient with you and your rabble.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
Cambria was
man.
3, now 2, now 1. Just back.
Bling bling.
Just need my Dr. Orman stats. Here they are.
Someone
okay.
might want to join the winning.
So, let's see how this goes. That's going to be a brawl, a dexterity, or I'm sorry, a strength plus brawl. And I'm going to make sure I have the biting rules down. This is a combat bite, so I think it's a little harder. The difficulty goes up a little bit. Let's see here. Wait. Here we go. Okay, yeah, it says to attempt a bite attack, the player must declare the intention to bite before rolling their dice and remove 2 dice from their pool because it's just a little tougher. And fangs deal aggravated health damage. He is going to just roll to see if he realizes what's happening.
Okay.
And if so, and dodge, basically. If he realizes what's happening and he dodges, then that's all good. And he's pretty smart. Let's see how alert he is. Yeah, right?
Oh boy.
No. Okay, ready? All right, how'd you do?
So what am I rolling?
Oh, I'm sorry. Strength plus brawl, but take away 2 of your dice.
Okay. So I got 3.
3. Okay, he got 2. So it looks like you get your fangs into him.
Oh boy.
But that's not the end of the encounter though. Like he is immune to the ecstasy that a bite gives a mortal. And so your fangs go in and you find yourself draining him. You can go ahead and relieve 1 hunger right away, instantly, as his vitae touches your lips. Okay. And he's going to decide what to do. Oh, yeah. Okay. He while you're doing this, he starts kind of enchanting something in kind of Babylonian. Would you like to just keep drinking?
No, I'm going to push him away and be like, you see, I understand what you might be trying to do. And I'm going to kind of wipe my lip at the same time and be like, you talk too much, Doctor.
Hold on. Let's see if you're able to pull yourself away, Lucius.
God.
Before he does this thing that he's doing. So I want a current willpower roll from you. to pull away. And if he gets more successes, he will have done it before you yanked yourself off.
So I'm at. I think I am. Hold on, let me see my character sheet. Where am I at willpower? I'm at 5. Okay, 3.
3. Okay, he also got 3. So I'm going to say that he has some effect on you here. Not every kind of a bit of effect, but not as bad as it would have been, but still pretty bad. Okay. So he has turned his blood into some sort of poison.
Right.
And you have drank that poison. If the poison hits the user, rolls a contest of strength plus blood sorcery versus stamina plus occult. Roll your stamina plus occult.
Oh God. I don't even know what my hold on. Stamina plus occult. Okay. 4.
Hey, that's pretty good. So see, if the user wins, the poison does the margin and aggravated health damage. I'm going to say that he doesn't do damage to you because I told you it was already lessened because you both got the same amount of successes, and then you also just beat him here. So no damage is done to you, but you saw what he was doing, and then he's like, "You're a Diabolist."
And I'm gonna kind of look at him, kind of my eyes like crazy, and be like, "There is something about our Vitae that could evolve us further, and I need more knowledge, Doctor."
You're an animal, and you should act like one. And he starts enacting another sort of.
Can I try and stop him? Like, because
you should.
I'm gonna be looking at him and be like, "Stop! Stop! Whatever the fuck you're doing, I'm gonna try and mesmerize."
Oh boy!
Can I mesmerize this guy?
Okay, great. Here we go. So both of us are gonna roll to see how effective our attacks are, and then both of us are gonna roll to resist. Okay.
Okay. So what is so mesmerize is manipulation plus dominate.
Manipulation plus dominate. Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to blood surge because I don't think I've had the time to even think about it. So it's one of those things where I'm like, kind of in the moment.
Okay.
Oh, God. I don't want to say it, but all right, go on.
Well, so basically whatever he said, suddenly like your neck like rips open and blood starts flowing out of your neck toward him as he beckons like this, and it's flowing toward his mouth. So how did you do?
I got a messy crit.
Oh, fuck, you and those messy crits. You okay? So what was you were just using a mesmerize, right?
One success to drive a damn car.
So, let me see. Let him resist your messy crit. If he can get a crit, then maybe he can resist it. So the resistance against your mesmerize is, I believe, composure plus. Is it wits plus composure? Here we go. Mesmerize.
Intelligence.
Intelligence plus resolve. Was that Clint?
Yes.
Okay. Hi. All right. So intelligence plus resolve, not bad for Orman. Okay. Let's see how he does. Come on, crit. Not even a little bit. He fails. You have mesmerized him, and he doesn't have any kind of unswayable mind or anything like that. So he is mesmerized, and so the blood. So you do loot, but you do get hungrier, Lucius. You get hungrier, and we'll say to the tune of. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 hunger added to your hunger. But it never hits Orman's lips. He becomes mesmerized, and it all splashes onto the floor of the parking garage.
And I'm going to kind of look at him and be like, that was a horrendous move. You wasted kin blood. Now, you're going to listen to me. And you're going to understand what I'm trying to say here. And basically what I'm going to try and do as Lucius is make this guy my like fucking, I don't know. I want to basically absorb every ounce of knowledge that he has.
So you're gonna mesmerize him and then go ahead and diablerize him again. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are you telling him in his mesmerize? What are you asking him to do? Like come forward and offer his neck?
Yes, and I'm kind of being in the sense, but I'm almost saying it in the way of like, this is actually the way forward. This is the way of Cain. This is the way of understanding each other. What you have done has been beautiful knowledge, but we need to kind of pass that knowledge onwards to those who are younger, who are going to be, who are going to learn more about the world in which we are living in today.
Okay, so he moves forward and he offers his neck as you have requested. That is a command that you can give, and they must do it immediately. And so he does that. Make sure you rouse for that mesmerize.
Yes.
And how much hunger are you at now?
I'm at 3.
Okay. So he offers his neck. You bite into it, and I'm wondering if he has. He's mesmerized. I mean, in theory, he could like wake up from being bit and like start to fight again. But even with the rationalize add-on, I feel like he thinks it's his idea,
Right.
like, and so I feel like I'm gonna let Lucius do this. I'm gonna let Lucius do this. It's an interesting story. Here we go. So let me bring up those.
Not still poison, is it?
Oh. I wonder if it is.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. It is. Wait, let me look at the duration for that.
Yeah.
Let me see how long it's like that. Ashley, thank you. Because if you hadn't said that, all of our viewers. No. Ashley, if you hadn't said that, all of our viewers would have been like, hey, you narrated that scene wrong, Jared. Because I would have. If this lasts a scene, let me see. Duration. The poison remains potent for 1 scene. You try to bite him again, and suddenly, like again, it's like poison, and again, I'm going to make you roll versus.
Wait a second, but if it's 1 scene, surely that whole scenario of me mesmerizing and everything was a scene.
No, sir. A scene is kind of like, until the characters leave and go somewhere else, like a scene in a movie. And so, since we're still in this parking garage,
right? Okay, cool.
So I'm not trying to punish you for doing this.
I
was about to let you do it. I was about to let you do it, but it's true. It's poison right now. So let's go ahead and roll. I think he gets one more chance to hurt you with this, unfortunately, my friend. So let's see. He's going to roll his blood sorcery plus you're gonna roll your stamina plus occult to resist how much damage you're about to take.
I'm like the kid that reminds the teacher that there's homework.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're the kid that reminds that reminds the storyteller to use the rules. That's what you are.
Would you have bit him again had you remembered the poison thing, Abu?
I don't think so, but I think also because of Lucius and his hunger and this idea of it, I think almost it's a bit too.
You're just gonna like take the hit and just.
Do you know what I mean? It's like alluring.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that Lucius might not know whether that his this is a higher level power he's using. I mean, you might not know. So how did you do?
So I got 4.
Okay, so once again, like you try to bite him and it's like it's just poison and you can't.
And I'm gonna kind of recoil and be like, oh, doctor. Lord, no good. And then I'm gonna kind of
moves forward again, and it's like,
I'm gonna kind of push his neck away and be like, and now I'm gonna go for the submerged directive and be like, when I'm ready, I will come for my knowledge. Is that understood?
Let's see if it's understood. Let's see. I want to make sure. Let's see what submerged directive tells us. I think it's the perfect move on your part. Let's just see. The vampire can now implant a post-hypnotic suggestion, allowing the command of remain dormant until a specific stimulus occurs. This trigger can be anything from a specific date to a person. Hearing a specific phrase. It never expires, the submerged directive. Wow. No additional cost. Well, dominate is powerful. So just tell me what you want him to do when something happens. So like when you see him next, like he offers his neck again.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's literally when I say I am ready. Like that's the key.
Right.
And he's like, of course. I mean, this is necessary in order to forward the cause of blood sorcery and the study of its Vitae's powers.
Good. And I'm gonna kind of
I'll be ready.
Stroke his hair and be like, "You are a brilliant doctor."
Thank you. It is. It's nice to have students who appreciate my genius. Yes. I do it for you. You're the next generation. Although I guess I'll be around forever as well.
And then I'm gonna kind of, before I let him go, I'm gonna be like, "You said something about these witches and them not being dangerous. Tell me, is that from a egotistical point of view, or from a genuine, educated kin point of view?"
If they have access to some sort of Vitae creation artifact, then they are in fact very dangerous. They will be able to power incredible workings and possibly change their environment in ways that we cannot conceive of. And that is why you and I should meet very soon to discuss how we are going to deal with the problem.
They're so fun, though.
And then I'm literally gonna. I'm gonna roll. Can I roll to resist my frenzy right now? Because I'm fucking mad. What am I rolling?
Roll willpower. Whatever you have left in willpower, roll that. And I think since you want to frenzy, you can just frenzy if you want, but you wanted to resist it. You need 2 successes.
It's the Church of Cain. Okay, I've got 2, but I'm gonna be like, fascinating, doctor. Do me a favor. Prepare an army, be it of Gargies or whatever you need to do. You tell me, and I'll give you what you need. But I feel like we need to rid ourselves of these fucking idiots. Can you do that?
I could possibly secure some sort of muscle for us. Yes.
Fantastic. I would suggest you do that quite soon. Until then, I will tell you when our next meeting will take place. But understand that I am on your side for knowledge, for power, for control.
And he puts his hand out to shake.
And I shake his hand.
And he holds your hand tight and he goes, "And I will do my best to teach you and enlighten you and bring you into the enlightenment of the Tremere."
Oh, beautiful.
Good night, Doctor. We will meet again. And then he, in his tweed suit, shuffles off down out of the parking garage. And I think that is where we will end for today.
Oh, God. Give me another hour, man.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Having some fun.
Damn.
You know, one day if we're all game for it, one day as a special, maybe we could go longer. But today, I like our little 2-hour sessions. So much happened in this session.
Can I just say, Jen, you put us in a lot of shit, man. I'm just saying.
These witches are cool, man.
I don't give a fuck if they're cool, man. They're gonna kill us.
Heads.
They might. Maybe they'll be good buddies.
They like Sabrina. I'm good.
Unbelievable.
You're not good.
It's hard for Curtis to weigh in. He does whatever the last person.
I'm fine.
I'm trying to literally make our survival. You are trying to destroy us.
No.
That's what you're doing.
What does the chat think? Are the witches trouble or are they new friends?
New friends.
Here, people say Abu speaking true. Abu speaking true.
How about you come over to my house? Let me bleed you for a bit and like make some food
They
as
don't
well.
have
And
to
tell
do
me
that
if I'm
anyway.
friends.
Thank you. They're so
But
chill.
our friend here says that the witches are so chill. Wait. Yeah, they're literally so chill.
Unbelievable.
Just means we got to make an urn of our own.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You lot are blind. All blind. I'm just saying.
I'm having
I'm
a
getting a
Okay,
lot
I'm
of
try- I
new
wanna
friends.
pass.
I'm getting
I'm
a
trying
lot
to-
of their friends.
I'm trying to turn a corner, okay? I'm trying to turn a corner, change my life, and I also do whatever the last person I spoke to tells me to do.
I can see that. I can see that.
That's
Well-
the chaos of Curtis Krieger.
There are literally so many threads that we haven't touched yet. So we've kind of, I'm going to call this a story. I think a story has just been completed. So I will give you guys, let's see, 3 XP altogether, 1 for each session, and then
Sweet.
1 for completing a story, because that felt like a whole little 2-parter there. And next time we will examine some of the other threads that have been left dangling and see where we're going to go next. But I want to thank these amazing players. They're always so amazing. They make this game so good. Ross Bryant, Ashley Burch, and Abu Salim. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Jared.
They make it so good. Okay, guys. This is the Stream of Blood. We have a lot of stuff coming up this Tuesday. Tune in to Taste of Blood at 7 p.m. Pacific for the Neptune Society. The Neptune Society, our Call of Cthulhu 7th edition game, this time featuring the villain our subscribers picked, the King in Yellow. Hastur's corrupting influence shall haunt the Neptune Society this Tuesday at 7 p.m. And then next week, I believe it's on Saturday, we will return with another edition of Blood and Blades at 6 p.m. Pacific. The Kino Hora will be back, and they will be having succeeded, I think, at their last mission. They'll be having a little downtime. And then, of course, the day after that, Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, we will have the next edition of this show, Vampires of Pittsburgh, Reign in Blood. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I saw people buying subscriptions for other people while we were playing, and I want to thank you guys so much for your support and for doing that. That's really cool, and we really appreciate it and love it here. I want to thank a ton of people, my players especially. I want to thank Clinton Trucks and Brian Baldinger, my partners. I want to thank my social media manager, Megan Arch. I want to thank Matt Moynihan, who's done YouTube content for us, and Jill Petracek, who created all these great graphics that we use. And then, of course, Will Potworth, who provided some excellent illustrations this week. Pottorff. He does commissions. Look him up online. We're on all the socials, so let us know what you thought of anything that we do on any of our shows. Our Discord's the best place to get in touch with us, but you can also hit us up at Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and Facebook. That's it for this week. I have to split. But until next time, #Blush of Life, and we'll see you later.